Hello everyone, Daniel Kerr here. There's going to be a little bit of noise from the back bedroom because my son, the genius, is going to sleep, but daylight savings and he's not that tired. Now, I've been getting a lot of inquiries from people privately, private messages and whatnot. They want to know how they can use the Korg ESX as an external effects engine to process incoming audio. Now, I just played in Nebraska on the 27th, and I played at Club Vega in Lincoln, and I had never been there before, and it was sweet, good people, good crowd, but during that show, I used the Korg ESX as only an effects processor. And so I'm going to show you exactly the way that I did it, and I'm going to lay out the easiest ways to go about this, okay? So as you can see, what I got going on is I got Ableton Live 8. Yep, I still haven't purchased 9. And the audio, Ableton Live 8 is being controlled by my APC40, okay? And then the audio is going to my Steinberg interface, and then the output is going to the Korg ESX, and then the output is going to the house, okay? So what we got going on, the very easiest way to use the Korg ESX as an external effects processor is to not run the sequencer at all, and to go to sample, okay? And then you want to go down to the bottom here, and you want to arm audio in. Now, arming audio in down here is not the same as arming audio in through up here. Audio in through will give you seamless audio, but then you won't be able to make use of the filters, the modulation, or the effects, okay? So if you want to use these things, which is obviously what you want to do, then you want to make sure the audio in through is off anytime you want to use the effects engine or the engine of the ESX on incoming audio. So I have the audio in through armed here, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow seamless audio to come through, okay? You want the level all the way up, okay, and then you will be able to use the filter, you'll be able to use modulation, you'll be able to use the modulation on the cutoff, the amplitude, and the pan, okay, obviously not the pitch. You will be able to send the incoming audio to the effects engine, okay. Now, one thing is that the Korg ESX has a default BPM of 120. Okay, so when you're listening to your audio, you're going to need to, if you want to use BPM sync delay or mod delay, for instance, or if you want to use BPM sync for your modulation destinations, then you're going to need an internal tempo that is similar to the music that is coming through your audio. Okay, so what you want to do is when you hear some audio, you just want to tap it out until you find the right tempo. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate that, and you're going to hear some music through straight from the speaker, or straight off the mixer. One moment. Okay, so as you could see, that was a very, very solid and very trustworthy way of using the Korg ESX as an effects processor. Okay, now the thing is perhaps you want the sequencer running. Perhaps you want to drop some of your ESX sequences with your incoming audio. Perhaps you want to use these instrument buttons and drop different samples in on the fly, right? So instead of having it in the sample menu, you want to go to pattern, okay? And the next thing you want to do is you want to clear out a pattern. Start from a blank pattern. So you want to hold shift and use pad 7, and you want a blank pattern, okay? Now, again, you could hit this audio in through button, and many people do that by default, and they wonder why they can't use the effects and such. They think it might not even work. You don't want to use this, okay? You want that off. And again, you want to come down here to where it says audio in. I've already got it selected. And when you clear out a pattern like that using Shift and Pad 7, the new pattern by default is 1 bar long. Okay, that's a good thing. What you want to do now is you want to go to audio in, and you want to select all of those 16 points. Now you have 1 bar, a 1 bar pattern with 16 points where it's going to allow external audio to come through your ESX. Now it's going to sound stuttery because each one of these is like a gate point, okay? But we can get past that, okay? What you want to do is you want to go to Step Edit, and you want to scroll down. Step Edit, scroll down to Gate Time, okay? And then you get to set the gate time for each one of these points. You want to set all 16 of these to 128. Right now it's at 0.75. The fastest way to do this is to hold down Shift, okay, and turn your wheel to 128. Then you want to go to the next one, and you want to hold down Shift and turn the wheel, set the gate time to 128, and so on and so forth, okay? So when you get completely finished with all 16 of these, what you'll have is incoming audio at 16 gates, but those gates will fade into one another, and you'll have a 16 note 1 bar loop of seamless audio, okay, coming through, and you'll be able to use the filters, you'll be able to use modulation on the cutoff, amplitude, and pan, you'll be able to use the pan here, you want the level set all the way up again, just like before, and you'll be able to send audio to the effects section, okay? Now there's a few things that you want to remember. First off, in the global incoming audio, if you scroll down, you want to make sure it's stereo. You can set it to left or mono if it's just a guitar pedal, for instance, or a microphone. But if you want stereo audio, you want to make sure that that's set, right? And it's global right, okay? Another thing is the clock, okay? Your clock. I have mine set to auto. That way, since my Ableton Live, since the Steinberg interface, I have a MIDI out going from the Steinberg interface to the MIDI in on the Korg. So when I hit play on my Ableton, it automatically starts my sequencer, okay? So that is important if you want everything to stay in time, okay? Another thing, you have a 1 bar loop here, okay, with 16 points, seamless audio, but it's only 1 bar. What you do is if you write this, okay, go back to pattern. If you write this pattern, okay, you got to write it first, then go down to length, okay, and then change the length to 8 or 4 or however long you want your pattern, and write it again. Now you'll have an 8 bar sequence with seamless incoming audio that you can use your ESX to affect. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate that right now. Okay, so that was even a little more groundbreaking, okay? But now, what I'm about to show you, it defies all convention, okay? This is going to be amazing. This is something that, once again, is going to change the face of the Korg ESX, okay? Now, anybody who is familiar with my ESX videos is familiar with my using the motion sequence to bring the state of a sample back to its original state every couple bars, okay? Well, you can do the same thing with the audio, okay? If you select the audio in, you can set motion sequence data, okay? So what this does, and I was looking for an effects processor that does this for years for live use, okay? If I go over here to Step Edit, all right, you can see it has all of my motion sequence destinations set, okay? what I have is I have every 4 bars, so on bar 1, the first note, and on bar 5, the first note, okay? What happens is I have a motion sequence that returns all of the effects and filters to their original state, okay? So what happens is my filter type automatically goes back to low pass filter every 4 bars, okay, at the downbeat. I have my filter cutoff, it goes to 127. My resonance goes to 0, okay? My effect sends get turned off, watch. It turns off immediately, okay? My effect sends get turned off. My modulation depth goes to 0, okay? My level goes back to 128, okay? That way, as the sequence is going, I can mangle the crap out of the incoming audio, but as soon as that downbeat drops, it snaps back to normal. So I can fade huge effect swells, reverbs, you know, not that anybody would want to use the crappy reverb, BPM delay. In fact, I'll show you what effects I have. Notice that they're all chained. The first one is short delay, because I think that is easy to just like mangle something super fast. You can almost get it to sound like a vocoder, okay? The second one is chorus and flange, okay? I think that's a very, very good ESX bread and butter effect. And the last one is BPM sync delay. And the reason why is because I have practiced with that a lot, and I can mangle that thing pretty good, okay? Sometimes on the fly I'll change some of these to decimator or a ring modulator or something else, but mostly these 3 effects are what I need when I'm affecting incoming audio. Now, before I save this, all right, another thing I want to do is I want to go to each one and I want to set the depth all the way, whoops, I want to set the depth all the way to 0. The reason why is because if I got a sequence going, some incoming audio, as soon as I hit this to turn on the effects, I don't want the effects engaging until I do it manually, okay? Do you see what I'm saying? And then every, on the downbeat, it turns itself off. It snaps back to 0. So now, I'm going to demonstrate that. One moment. Okay, as you can see, that is an amazing, amazing way to use the Korg ESX as an external effects engine. And that is actually one of the sequences that I played when I was playing live, and that is how I used the Korg ESX when I was playing live. I actually had no samples in here at all, and I only used the unit as an effects processor. I wish it was a little small. I wish that the KP3 had a motion sequence to turn everything back to 0 every few bars. That would be groundbreaking. Korg, take notice. Take notice of how we want to use our machines and make something relevant. Don't give us something new, call it an electribe, and throw some crappy crap into a box. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll be back with more tutorials soon. Also, before you go to soundcloud.com/snowmetal and follow me there. And if you go to snowmetal.org, you'll be able to see one of my old websites that I have kind of revamped, and you'll be able to get a lot of these Korg ESX templates, Ableton Live, instrument racks, sample sets, all kinds of stuff for very little money, just enough really to cover my costs. And I hope that you guys have a fantastic spring. It's coming up soon.